Hey, are you a midlife woman and you are so fed up, you want to just chuck in the 9 to 5, you want more purpose, you want more freedom, you want more meaning, and you want more joy in your next chapter? If that's you, welcome. I am so pleased that you're here. Thanks for joining. So in today's video, I'm going to go through 3 steps that will really help you before you chuck in the 9 to 5. You may have just chucked in the 9 to 5, but if not, go through these 3 steps before. Either way, it's going to really help you to ease through the process. It's going to make building your next chapter so much easier. And so I'm delighted you're here. If we've not met before, my name's Lindsay and I help midlife women to reinvent themselves. And I've been doing it for many years. I've been a life coach for 20 years. Got a podcast all about it called Midlife Freedom. And over on Instagram, you'll find me under Midlife Freedom Angel, where there is a lovely community of women who are all reinventing themselves at this age. Cool. So let's jump right in. So glad you're here. Okay, I will work from notes, by the way. Okay, so the first step that you want to do is to get really clear on what you want. And by doing this, you kind of provide yourself with a North Star or your own GPS. Now, you've got to get clear on what success looks like for you, because it's different for everybody. Freedom for some people could mean selling up and hot-footing it off across the world. And for other people, it could be they just want 3 days a week job instead of 5. Your freedom might look like you just want to spend more time with your grown-up kids wherever they are in the world. Alternatively, you might want to go trekking up Machu Picchu, but you've got to be clear on what it is, because otherwise you've got nowhere to go. You've got like no goal. The other thing is to figure out what's really valuable to you now. Is it the security, or it's quite a common trait within midlife right now that you actually are kind of a little bit on the wild side and you want to just like chuck it all in the air and let it go. Either way, it's whatever's right for you. So you need to get clear on those things. And then the other thing is also to figure out what freedom of finance looks like for you. Because I did a video a couple of weeks ago and the biggest question I got is, oh my God, what am I going to do for money in my midlife if I chuck it in? And there are so many things that you can do, but the thing is, most of them you probably won't know unless you've done any research, because it's so different to what we think the world of work is. But let's face it, I mean, there are kids making a fortune just doing YouTube videos on Instagram and all of the things in between. There are so many options for us now. So we've got to dive in and do the research. So that's something that obviously comes in a little bit later in the steps. But this first step is all about give yourself some direction, figure out what's important to you, what freedom looks like to you, what your finances need to look like in order to feel free. Because there's no point chucking everything in and then worrying if you can't pay the gas bill every month. That's just boring. So that's the first point. Second point is to build a bridge, don't burn one. So what I mean by that is, don't be cutting off ties like with your friends and family and work and just saying, that's it, I'm off, I'm done. Because at the end of the day, some of those people are going to be your greatest help. And in fact, the experience that you've gained of all of your years of working, that's actually probably going to be what brings you into your next chapter. That's going to put you in a really, really good position. So don't be burning any bridges. I know it's really tempting just to chuck everything because you're probably burnt out, you're probably exhausted, and you're probably bored of maybe just doing the same thing depending on how long you've been doing it. And the other thing is also when our kids leave, it's really common just to feel kind of overlooked and unimportant. So I want to help you to create something that is so much more compelling for you so that you feel like you're full of purpose and value again. Because you deserve to be. Oh my goodness, think what you've put into the world. It's your turn to get something back now. So the thing that's worth saying is this transition doesn't happen overnight. It can be a long, slow process. But what I will tell you is it's worth it. I'm 3 years in now. And the things I've learned in those 3 years, I can't even begin to tell you. And so much, even though you go in going, yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. There is so much that you learn. And also because of how fast things are changing. I mean, with using AI and how fast or how much you can rely on AI for new ideas, new plans, new strategies. But you've got to get really comfortable with that. And when you do, it opens up so many more doors. But it's those sorts of things that if you're not using that in your everyday job or you're not already using it, and there are so many obviously different versions of AI. So the one thing I've got to say about this is whilst you're still in a job, don't expect things to happen like immediately. Now, when I say that, you can still, once you've learned the skills, you can create income early on. For example, I wrote this book last summer, and that's just like a journaling book that I made on Canva, and then now I stock it on Amazon and it sells straight from Amazon. So that's something very easy to do, which a couple of years ago when I first moved back to England in my major transformation, I didn't know how to do that. I had no idea. But because I learned the skills, that really helped me to do it. So that's just one example. So many examples. Doing the podcast, doing YouTube, doing Instagram, all of that is because of skills that I have learned since I've, really jumped in with both feet. So obviously I want the same for you. And that's what this second step is going to help you with. Don't expect it to happen overnight. Do expect to put the effort in. You can still do it while you're working. An hour here and an hour there, every time you're in the car, stick on a podcast, makes so much difference. And are you really going to miss? For me, it's heart radio playing the same 6 songs all day. I'm like, ah. So anyway, enough said. Okay, and then the third step, I want to keep this brief because we're all short of time, right? On the third step, it's actually opening up your mind to what's possible. And when I say that, just like when I refer to the kids who are making so much money by doing stuff we've never even heard of or couldn't even imagine that they'd get paid for, open up your mind to what's possible. You will need to do a bit of digging about what you're capable of, what your skills are, how you could monetize it, and also what will sell, because you'd be amazed. But don't underestimate the amount of time, and don't underestimate thinking, but what will I do? What value do I have? Because I promise you, you have got a ton of value of stuff that you can teach other people. And in fact, I've got a library of resources to help you get really clear on what your next steps look like, and even to help you learn the skills that you need as well. So one of the things that I love that I read, and I can't even remember where I read it, and it says freedom starts in your mind before it shows up in your calendar or in your bank account. And that's so true. You really need to do mindset work. Now, I've been doing NLP and hypnosis for about 20 years now, and it's quite incredible how many people stay in the same job way longer than they need to, purely because they've imprisoned themselves in their minds. When you can start listening to new stuff, reading new stuff, learning new stuff, it is absolutely incredible what possibilities then open up to you. So I really hope that this has been helpful and just given you these 3 simple steps. So just whip over them. You need to get clear on your own North Star on your GPS. You need to build bridges. Don't burn any bridges. And the third is just to really open up your whole mindset about what is possible. Because I promise you, there is so much available to you, and you're really capable of doing it too. So if you've got questions, please comment below. I'd love to be able to help out and give you some ideas, maybe what could come next, because there is so much available to you. I've literally created a library of resources for you, of tools and courses that I've taken. And then I've also created some smaller resources for you just to help you get really clear on what's important now and what your next steps could be. Okay, if this has been helpful, please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you back here soon. Take care, bye.